Just make it happen. I am recording. Just start. Show them where we're going on the map. Tell them what the emergency protocols are. Your dad doesn't bite. Okay? And I know he doesn't smell bad. That was the tarp I had out. Okay, so tell your dad what he needs to know in case we get off the rails on this trip.
FRS channel and radio channel.
Okay? And what's in the bag?
Radio is listening to that.
Okay? And the radio is already set to channel 3. Okay? You don't let someone else figure out how to operate it. All they have to do is turn it on. Okay? What else?
He has your phone number.
Yes.
Where are you going?
Where are we going? Show them on the map. You can take the map out of the bag. This way I know you know where we're going. You don't even have to open the map. It's already folded where you need to be.
I can see it from here.
Show him.
Where are you going?
On a road.
Specifically, where are we going? Do you remember? I sent it all to you. Southernmost tip of Negro Lakes. Okay?
Where that line is.
Yeah, where the rip in the map is.
Where the rip in the map is.
Okay.
Okay? And you probably would give him the grid reference if he understood that, but not everybody does. At least they know where that is and they can figure that out. Okay? Clear as mud. Okay, what's the whistle for?
Emergency purposes.
Okay, so here's one of the things I tell people is what's the emergency signal for someone who's lost? On a whistle, on a shot, smoke. Like what's the emergency? SOS. Or 3 shots, okay, spaced equal apart if you're like hunting, or 3 blasts on a whistle, okay. Now what if somebody's going to go look for you? They're not in an emergency state. You would tell them, here's a whistle. If for some reason you need to find us and you come looking for us, 2 blasts on the whistle. We'll know it's you. Does that make sense?
Clear as mud.
Okay. And that stays with your dad for our adventure today. So they can find your cold dead body if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I will come looking for you if you don't make it home by tomorrow. At some point.
I got school.
That's okay.
Make it home.
Fair enough. Okay, Stan, quick summary. My plan is to leave your place Monday morning on bicycle with Niner Zulu, go across Glenelg Holland Town line to the second concession here, and then we're going to go straight up that road past this first conservation area here, or county forest or whatever it is, up to this one, and then we're going to hike in here and try and meet up with the south end of the Negro Lakes. All right, so we left the house, down the highway, crossed the highway, up to the top of the first hill. We're about a mile into our day's trip, and this is where we take a page from the military, from the cavalry. Because if you were riding out on your cavalry horse and leading a pack horse, you wouldn't just get it all loaded up and then go for a 10-kilometer or 10-mile, march as a cavalry troop. 10 or 15 minutes into it, you would stop, you would check and adjust all your pack saddles and all your saddles to make sure everything is still the way it's supposed to be after the horse has been moving. So this is where we're going to take a page from the cavalry and do the same thing with our gear and our bicycles. Does that make sense? Something you should get in the habit of doing on long trips. Cool? And what is it we always say when we go up the hills? Yes, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Second big hill of the adventure. So I stopped on the way up, not for any other reason, as I saw something I thought might be useful, and it's a hood strut or something like that on the side of the road, and it might actually be a useful part for the grappling hook that we just talked about building for pulling a tire out of the river. So I'm marking where it is. I can come back and get it later because I don't want to carry it on today's adventure. But as you're coming up the Glen Elg Holland side road, you can see there's a little yellow road marker there. It's almost directly across the road. There's a stump buried in the dirt just off the road, kind of in the tree lines where it starts to drop away, and I've dropped it there and I can pick it up later. Okay, we're pausing for our first wildlife encounter on the road that's alive. So what do you think that is, buddy?
A turtle.
What is it?
A turtle.
Yeah, what kind?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, look at it. It's all moss covered and dirt covered. It's got kind of a hog-shaped nose on it. Okay?
A snapper?
Well, if you just put your foot close to it and it feels threatened, see what it does? Okay? That's a snapping turtle. Right?
What do we do?
What do you think we should do?
I don't know. I don't know how to pick them. I don't know how to pick them up.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you. All right? Hold the camera. It's running. All you have to do is hold it. So the thing with snapping turtles is you think they're going to get you, and they can actually extend their neck quite a way to reach you, but they're always going to turn towards you in a defensive maneuver like that. There's things you can do, okay? You can get behind it, right? You can get behind it, and they can reach out quite a ways. See what I mean? Okay, and you can get them by the tail and pick them up. And it's not hurting them, okay? And we'll take them over to the other side of the road where they're going, okay? And then we put them back down gently and let them go on their merry way, okay?
Okay.
And in this part of the world, you'll see people build turtle nests on the side of the road. It looks like a wooden box with a screen over it because they actually come up and they dig into the soft sand to lay their eggs. Okay?
Bugs are getting bad.
They are. On to the next stop?
Maybe.
Maybe. Time for a refresh on the bush cologne, right?
Yeah.
Because they are getting bad, but it's okay. We won't die.
You're just recording me putting my...
Okay, so we passed the first county forest / conservation area. Coming up to where the water crosses the road. We'll probably stop and enjoy the view and feed the bugs.
I don't like being in the fog.
Well, the best days to fish will be the worst days for bugs. Okay, so let's see if our conversations sink in. What's the claim to fame for the Tilly hats?
You can put your ID or money in them.
That's not the claim to fame. That's a feature of it. What's the claim to fame? What makes them so famous?
Oh, I went through an elephant.
Say it
It
again.
went through an elephant.
How did it go through an elephant?
Ate it.
And it came out the other end?
Yeah.
And the person who owned it could wash it and wear it again.
Yes.
And the feature that makes them nice is
The storage.
in the hat, in the top of the hat where you can put identification and emergency money, right? Okay, let's talk about life straw. You have a life straw.
Yeah.
Life straw is so that you can get survival water. Okay? Survival water meaning that you haven't drank in a day or two and you need water because you're dehydrated, and you can suck water through a life straw out of a dirty old puddle. Okay? The disadvantages to the life straw is you can't get water in a large quantity. Okay? You can't get water through it and put it in a pot and make, soup or coffee. You could, you'd have to suck it into your mouth and then spit it in the pot. Suck it in your mouth, spit it in the pot. That's kind of gross, actually. But it's meant that in a place like this, where you could get to the water's edge and the water is reasonable expectation of being somewhat clear, okay? You could get down there, lay on your belly, and drink out of that stream and get emergency water enough to keep you going. That's what a life straw does for you. Does that make sense? I have one. I've had one for years, okay? And when I go places where I might get lost and there is no known water source and I don't have water with me, I'll bring a life straw because, in the style of a Texas Ranger, you could drink water out of a horse's hoof print with it to get what you need. Does that make sense? But it's not a source for you to get quantity water on a long duration trip so that you could cook meals or wash or anything like that. Does that make sense? Okay, so the life straw is good. I have one. Okay, you have one. Got one for Christmas. Okay, just understand it's survival water.
I got it for my birthday.
Or for your birthday. Yes. So it's survival water. Okay, it was your stepsister who gave it to you, right?
No, it was Maddie.
Oh, well, that's your.
My half sister.
Well, that's the same as a stepsister. Okay, she's your sister. More or less in today's world, she's your sister, right? Okay, but she was thinking of you. She gave you a life straw. That's pretty cool, actually, right? Now understand what the life straw is for. Okay, and then as we go along, I'll teach you some other water producing filtration systems as we go this summer that have different purposes. Okay, just know the life straw is for survival water. Okay, second wildlife stop, because there is a snake. Any idea what kind of snake that is?
Gardener.
You think it's a gardener?
You think so?
No.
What do you think it is?
What would be the easiest way to find out if you weren't sure?
Take a picture.
Take a picture and Google Lens it.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we should do that. Just make sure you don't hurt them. What do we got?
Tiny snake.
Tiny snake. What kind of snake did we say it might be?
Ribbon or closely related gardener snake.
Okay, how did we find out?
Google Lens.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? So we know that it was safe to pick up because it's harmless. And we're just going to get him off the road so he doesn't get run over, right?
I think he was going to that side.
Well, I think he's just going whatever way he can. He'd get out on the road to be warm in the morning. If it was cool at night, they'd come out and warm up on the road. But, yeah, like I said, any snake will bite if they feel threatened. Okay? That's the truth.
Now he doesn't want to go.
Just set him down. There he goes. Now he's getting out of town. Here's a thought for you when it comes to things like snakes. Okay. Are there any deadly venomous snakes in this part of the world that you know of?
The northern rattlesnake, whatever it's called.
The Massasauga rattler?
Yeah.
It is a rattlesnake. It is venomous, although it is not what we would consider immediately deadly venomous. If you were to get bitten by one, you would still need to seek medical attention. Correct? Okay. As soon as possible. Unless you're, hyper allergic to venom, the odds of you dying immediately are pretty low. Okay. Lots of horses get bit by them because horses are curious. And the Massasauga rattler snake is very timid. Timid. It doesn't like other things like people and horses and all that. If you startle one and step on it, it'll probably bite you. Outside of that, it's going to try and get away from you as quickly as possible. Okay? Unless you're like a young person who's curious and trying to mess with it because, curiosity is going to get the cat, as they say. But that's the only one in this part of the world. And they usually live close to larger sources of water, like along the Georgian Bay shoreline, that sort of thing. Okay? Good. All other snakes are non-venomous, although sometimes we just generally afraid of them because we don't know. And I'm this person, I can tell you, having traveled around the world to places where there are deadly venomous snakes.
Like Australia.
Your nanny will say, your papa's afraid of snakes. I'm not afraid of snakes.
You don't like that.
I treat them all with respect because I've traveled to places where you had to memorize the differences to know which ones were venomous and which ones weren't. Okay? Like when I was in Florida, the coral snake, and there's another snake that looks very, very close to it. The color variation is just slightly different. And there was a rhyme they taught us, if black meets yellow, I'm a friendly fellow. If red meets black, stay back, Jack, or something like that, to differentiate between the two snakes, because one was not poisonous and one was very poisonous. In my lifetime, this is how I treat snakes, with respect.
And just leave them alone.
Yeah.
Unless you know they're not poisonous.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's not a fear thing. It's a cautionary thing that if I act that way everywhere in the world, then chances are I'm not going to be injured unnecessarily by a venomous snake. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On to the next adventure. A little pause because we're going along and we know we've passed the first checkpoint we needed, which was the county forest after we turned the corner, right? We've gone past that. Now we're getting up to closer to the next reference point we have, which is side road 60.
Yeah.
Okay. We know we have to go past it a little bit. How do you figure out how far you got to go past it? So remember, in your map case, there is the map and there's a piece of paper that we actually marked the scale on. So you could put it on the map and see how far you have to go. Does that make sense? So grab your map case. Let's have a look. That's the whole point of having the map. Do you know how soldiers get lost? Not looking at the map. Okay? Unless they absolutely know exactly where they are. They're familiar with the terrain. They know where they are. But when you're in a foreign country or a foreign geographical location to you, the map is a big deal. That and, of course, your compass. And the bugs aren't bad right here on the top of this hill in the shade as the wind is keeping them off of us. Right? Okay, so see those pieces of paper in there? Those pieces of paper in there? We marked those with the scale for that map, remember? So you could measure on it without having to unfold the whole map. You just have to get those pieces of paper out of there. So open the waterproof case, Find one that has the scale on it.
Is this the right one? Or is this the...
That looks like the correct scale, okay? Or is that where we marked it? Maybe the other one has the scale. Marked and measured. One should have the scale on it.
No, that's the only one in here.
Okay. So, here's what we're going to do. We are going to mark this with the scale. So now you're going to take the map out. Take the map out. Now you need to open the map to where the scale is showing. Do you remember that? It's on the map. Right there.
Huh.
Okay? Then you're going to put this on there. And with the pencil, I'll let you use mine because mine's handy. Okay? And you're going to mark. Let me help. You're going to mark those 5 lines on that paper. Okay. Now you're going to close your map up again. You're going to give me my pencil back.
Oh, the bugs are bad.
As soon as the wind comes up, they'll go away. Okay, fold your map up again the way it needs to be folded. Okay, now find side road 60 on our route. Okay. Side road 60 comes to there. So then measure how far past side road 60 we have to go using your lines.
Half a kilometer.
So 500 meters. Okay? That's how far we have to go past it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That makes it easy, right? If you have an idea roughly how far and you're capable of estimating distance, you'll know roughly where we should meet up with hopefully a county forest sign or a conservation authority sign indicating that that's the start of our next section of the adventure. Okay? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
When we get there, we'll stop, we'll have something to eat, we'll get the compass out and plan our adventure from there. Okay? All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, this is us going in. Oh, look. Signs.
And holes.
No dirt bikes, no 4x4s, no ATVs, no motorized vehicles. Saugeen Conservation Authority. Okay? Pretty sure people don't abide by that. Not worried about it. We're going in to do our thing. Okay? So if this was the end of the world as we know it, and we were out scouting an alternate source of water and food and a possible bug out location, pretty sure we're not the first to do that. Somebody left a chair here. Oh, that would be from hunters. But we would probably find a place in here where we would probably... Oh. Freeze gopher, car parts. Got his attention. Car parts. Yeah, you're not carrying that back. Okay, stop. One thing I want to teach you. Okay? When you go and move stuff and pick up stuff, always have the vision that there's possibly something underneath it that could hurt you. Like a Massasauga rattler, or a booby trap. Okay? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to look all around it. Look all around it. Look for things that might give you a signal or make your spidey senses tingle to say, oh, this could be bad. Okay? And then maybe take something like a stick, and where you can, poke around underneath it a little bit. Make sure there's nothing there. And then try and pick it up. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah. It's about being safe, right? Lots of people get bit by things they never intended to get bit by, just walking into the bush and picking stuff up. That's why a lot of soldiers die too. Because bad people put explosive devices under shiny things. You satisfied? Yeah. Okay. It's a big car part. Just know it's here. We ain't dragging it out today. It's probably well buried in there too. Never know. The whole car might be underground.
Might just be the hood.
Might be. So I'm going to say, yeah, it looks like it might be the hood off an old car or truck, for sure. And in the concept of Mad Max apocalypse, yeah, knowing where stuff like this is, extra pieces of metal, might have some value for, you know, the apocalypse industry where people get metal and build things and sell it and all that kind of concept in the sense of Mad Max Thunderdome and Furiosa. But it's just natural. I'm going to be honest with you, buds. I was your age once too. Natural young man curiosity says, I need to do this. And I'm okay with it, right? You just have to learn to be safe about it. Okay, like I said, use a stick or something, dig around underneath it, make sure there's nothing under there that's going to come squiggling out and bite you. And understand in the Army ideology is bad people put explosive devices under things that are attractive, hoping that you as a soldier will go, hey, look at that bottle of beer. And you go over and pick it up and it blows up and it kills you. Okay?
Uh-huh.
The other thing you're going to be careful of in this day and age is ticks. Ticks. You'll know.
Oh, is they're gonna bite me?
Oh, you'll know. It's part of the education process. Okay. It's been there a while. It's got a lot of dirt on it. Now your shoe's undone too.
Yeah, both of them.
Yay, team. Probably an indication that at one point in time, this particular piece of land, which is a conservation authority, was someone's farm at some case in time.
This is probably their farm truck.
Might have been. Might have been. I'm going to let you continue with your adventure, and I'm going to go get something to drink and maybe shove an apple in my face.
Okay.
Okay. So, I want you to know I don't normally use this style of water bottle when I'm out and about in the world. Okay? I don't. But when I do, I don't crush them. And I'll show you why later today. Okay? But don't crush them. Alright? Because this has life straw applications.
Cheers.
So we're having a little snack. We just entered into the Saugeen Conservation Authority, just enough to get out of the direct sunlight and mess around for a minute. But how do you want to approach getting to our objective, which is the southern tip of Negro Lakes? Okay, you can point that way, but how do we go about get there? Are we going to take the trails? Are we going to go straight line through the bush following a compass bearing? Where are we going to leave our bikes? Are we going to push our bikes all the way back there? I don't know that this trail goes all the way there. What do you think we should do? Think of it in the sense if this was really a scouting mission for us. It was the end of the world as we know it. And we're out looking for the end of the lakes because we want a covert place where we can find another source of water that we could access, possibly another source of food like fish and wildlife, or a place that we could also bug out to, right? And don't eat all your food in one stop.
I know, I still have more food.
Okay, well, don't. Just keep in mind, you got to ration it throughout the day because we don't know how long we'll be, right? Oh yeah, and don't leave any garbage behind.
Oh, this is like the apple core.
That's right. Apple cores are food for the wildlife. You can huck them into the bush. Note to self. If you're worried about people following you and finding you, things like apple cores on the side of the trail, it's tracking evidence. That makes sense? So, if you decide you're going to dispose of it in the bush, like this, make it out of sight. Okay? So this is what you need to show me. Show me on the map. You can put it on the bike seat or whatever. Show me on the map where we are right now. You can use the pencil to point to it. Okay, so that's where we are. We just got off of that road and we're about 30 yards from the road itself in the Gray Sawable Conservation Authority. So yeah, don't poke holes in the paper. And where are we going? Okay, that little pencil dot right there is the southern tip of the Negro Lakes. Okay, how far away is it from where we are to where we're going using the scale that you printed on your paper?
1 kilometer.
1 kilometer. Okay, what direction is it? Give me my pencil back.
South.
How do you figure it's south?
And I put the map the way it is, or meant to be. And I have the compass. Ouch.
Okay, so let me help you. I know it's been almost a year since we've done some of this stuff, so let me help you. Okay, first thing you got to do is don't throw the compass away. Untangle it. It's tangled around your bike. Here, give me your map. Okay, now hold the compass in your hand. Well, first of all, that's backwards for holding that compass. Okay, so always hold it with the mirror away from you. All right? First thing we need to know from here is from that compass, which way is north? And how do you determine it? Tell me how you would determine which way is north.
Red arrow.
The red arrow always points north on that compass. Okay? All right? The red arrow always points north on that compass. Now, if you wanted to use the compass, to orient your map, this is what I would do. I would put the red in the bed. Do you remember that from last year? Okay? That way is north. All right? Now, on this map, which way is map north? Don't worry about the compass. Which way is map north? Okay, so this is what we call orienting the map. North Okay, Highway 6 runs north-south. Now you turn the map, hold your compass up, okay? Red in the bed. Now you turn the map so that the north of the map is pointing in the same direction as the magnetic needle. Okay? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, without changing the map, looking at the compass, which direction would we go to get to our objective, the destination?
West.
That's better, because you were saying south before. We'd end up in Mexico. Okay? Mexico!
Oh, Mexico.
Do you understand? Okay? Do you remember that now?
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not going to be easy. Okay? It's something that's still new to you. We've only done it a few times, but that's where we need to be. Our general direction we're going is
West.
west. Okay? And possibly a little bit north on our trek. Okay? Now, what time of day is it?
12:40.
Okay?
12:38.
Right. Okay? In this part of the world, the northern hemisphere, where is the sun at 12? It's almost directly overhead, okay? But the sun is in the southern hemisphere. Look at your shadow. See your shadow? Which way is your shadow going? What compass direction is it's going north, okay? But as the sun progresses from east to west, your shadow will move from left to right, okay?
Right.
Right. I know, first day of my new lips. Okay. Just remember that shadow is pointing approximately magnetic north right now, but 2 hours from now, it will point a little bit more northeast. Okay. So we can use the shadow for short distance traveling. The northerly direction of the shadow says if we go that way and our shadow stays there or slightly behind us over the next hour or so, we are going generally west. Does that make sense? Okay. Clear as mud.
There's mine.
Okay. So what's the plan? Are we going to stash the bikes? We're going to go in a little bit with the bikes, stash the bikes, and then try and find our way to the southern tip of Negro Creek Lakes. Which means that everything that we need that's on the bikes, we can take off the bikes. Anything we don't need that's on our body, we can put on the bikes. Leave with the bikes. Clear as mud?
Clear as mud.
All right. Here's your map back. You got a compass. We'll move on. So the decision was to take the trail that's here and bike in the general direction we wanted to go as far as we could safely, and then see where that puts us, and we'll figure out how to get to the lake at the southern tip of the lake when we get there. And this is the trail we're going in on. Niner Zulu leading the path. What's going on? Also, just go across it. Carefully go across it. It's not our mission to clear the trails. Our mission is to get to our objective at the southern tip of Negro Lake. So, get across the obstacle. Trail obstacles. Hey, you know what I found? What? Birch bark. Just a little piece on the side of the trail. I'm going to pick it up in case I need to start a fire in case of an emergency. What? Yep. Water up. Elevation obstacle. Not that high. It's not really good riding with all the dead branches on the trail. Good news is I haven't seen any deer flies yet. Good news is I haven't seen any deer flies yet. 27, 28 degrees. We're not in a rush. We can take as many breaks as we want. Where do you think, just guessing, because that's what we can do at this point, because there's no real references. Even with the topographic map, the land change here isn't enough to show up on a topographic map with a 20-meter grid interval or a 25-meter contour interval. So the question is how far do you think we've gone? Just guess. 100 meters, 500 meters, 800 meters. It's okay. It's something that comes with time, being able to estimate how far you've gone. Okay? The path is generally going in the direction we want to go. That's good news. It's not deviating wildly in any one direction. Right? I'm going to look at... Okay, so we're disembarking the bikes and we're going to walk in for a bit, see if we can determine exactly where we're at. Right? A little bit of a rest. Here we go. So we ran out of man-made trail. We marked our last known point on that trail, and now we're kind of doing a little bushwhacking. Oh, look. What can you see through the trees there? What? And that's water. So, it's a little bit of a downhill, and we will have to climb back up, but let's go down and touch the water. You game for that? No? It's okay. We don't have to do anything. I think it's a pretty easy walk down there. Yeah, no? What about over this way? Oh, look at that. Look how close we are right here. It's right there. We can do that far. To the edge of the water.
Sure.
Just to be able to say you got to your objective. Okay?
And then what?
Then we'll come back up here, we'll rest, we'll drink some water, we'll eat some more, and then we'll make our way back out to the road.
And go home.
Home?
Or your place or my place.
Because you're ready for a nap already?
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll just get to the edge of the water, get a congratulatory yay we made it picture, and then we'll head our way back up here. Okay? All right, let's get... So we're all the way back up from the edge of the water now. We're back where we left the trail. We recognize it because of that little teeny tiny blaze on the tree. Having said that, let's talk about using blazes on trees. We'll sit for a minute. Blazes on trees. So, the environmental world says, please don't scar up the trees like that. And I get it. If you and I are just out on a casual hike type thing and it's not an emergency, okay, I can do the don't mark up the trees like that. But one thing you got to learn is you got to do them once in a while to learn how to use them right. Now, that blaze on that tree, you will never see that in low light. So if you were trying to find your way back here and it's getting close to sunset and the shadows change and you're looking for that on the tree, you might need another tool to look for it, like a pair of binoculars. You can look at the trees from a distance and you'll be able to see them better. As it gets into the dark, you still won't be able to see that even with a pair of binoculars. So if you have to do a blaze, an emergency blaze to mark so you can find your way back, it has to be what?
Seeable.
How do you make it seeable?
Make it big.
Make it really big, okay? Yeah, it scars up the tree, but it's about not being lost. Make it really big so that you could see it even under poor light conditions, okay? What would be a more environmentally friendly way, if it's not the zombie apocalypse, the Tiatuaki, the end of the world as we know it, what would be a more environmentally way to mark so you could say, I'll find my way back here?
Spray paint.
Spray paint will work. I don't think I'd get in the habit of carrying spray paint with me everywhere I go, though. I might carry trail tape, trail marker tape, okay? Not all trail marker tape is created equal. So here's what I'll tell you is, okay, in the hunting world, people who don't go very far off the path in this part of the world, you'll find orange, kind of blaze orange trail marking tape everywhere in the county forest. So using orange trail marking tape is a bad plan because there's all kinds of it in here. And if you're lost and and not only that, the orange is not that easy to see in the dark, especially if you don't have a light. So the better trail tape to use would be what color?
Yellow.
Yellow or white. Okay, you'd be surprised how far away you can see the white trail tape in the dark, in the bush, and even better when you hit it with a flashlight. Okay, does that make sense? And very few people use the white trail tape. So you can pretty much say, that's mine, because it's white. Does that make sense? So one of the things you're going to put on your kit list that you should carry with you is?
Trail tape.
What color?
White.
Perfect. Yeah. And so far today, you've been someplace that a lot of people who live here all their lives have never been. You know that? There's going to be lots of people, some of your friends will say, well, I've been there. And I'm going to say this. You show them the picture, you give them the grid reference and say, go get a picture in this exact spot and prove to me that you've been there. Okay? And if they can't or don't, you can say, yeah, you're just that person who's making it up. Okay? I don't want to be too critical and say you're just a loudmouth loser, but that's what I would say to my army buddies who said, I've been there. No, you're not. You're a loudmouth loser because you didn't get that exact picture in that location and show me that you can get there. Okay? So you can take it as a measure of you've done something at your age that 90% of the people who live here, who have lived here all their lives, can't. Okay? And you didn't die. And we're not done yet. We still got to get back home. That's part of the trip. Whatever way we go, we'll decide as we get back to the bikes and we'll figure it out when we get to the road, okay? We'll look at the map and see which way, because again, we have to measure it against time, right? Okay?
Was there a supposed time when you back?
I put a timeline on telling your dad that I'd try and have you back by 5 o'clock.
It's 3 o'clock.
It's what?
1.
It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad. What time did we start?
10.
10-ish, yes. Yeah. So, it's 3 hours,
Not bad.
including getting all the way in and all the way down to the water. And we fed our share of the local wildlife, the bugs. We rescued a snapping turtle
And a snake.
and a snake. And we're not done yet. It's hot, isn't it?
And my water bottle's empty.
Well, there we go. There's another lesson in life, right? Like, you got to plan for the temperature and say, how much water do I need, or have the means to create water. Now, I'm your grandfather, so I'm also the guy who knows that you've got a lot of things to learn and grow into yet, so I brought extra water, okay?
Maybe next time we'll bring 4 bottles.
Okay. The only way you'll know how much water you need is to go out and do this stuff and learn through experience. I know how much water I need per day when I'm out doing this stuff, okay? I know. You haven't had this experience. You come with me. You can count on your grandpa to be the guy who, in the early stages is going to say, I got what you need. I won't let you die. But the onus is on you as you grow and gain experience to be that person who takes care of
myself.
Exactly. Because when I was your age, it was different. But when I was your age, I would be doing this stuff all the time. Shh. Don't tell your great grandma because she didn't know. Okay. Which is kind of bad. But I'd be doing this stuff all the time by myself in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Hunting, building forts in the bush with my buddy Neil or John. Okay. Like, we just went out and did things in the world, and we learned some of the lessons the hard way. My deal is I'm going to give you the lessons the easy way before the zombie apocalypse starts. Because you're the one who's going to have to survive the zombie apocalypse. Or Teotwaki, as they say. End of the world as we know it. Okay? And the reality is, if you get all these skills under your belt, you'll be that person who can help other people. Right? Because none of us could survive the end of the world alone. None of us could. But some of us got to have the skills to bring other people along. Okay. Going to rest for a minute. We've had our break. All right, young warrior, get us back to the bicycles. So we stopped, did the Google lens on this. It's white quartz embedded in a larger chunk of igneous rock and has no value because there's so much of it on the planet. Okay, so lots of trims out on this trail today. No sign of any morels yet. Maybe it's the wrong place, the wrong location, but a few dandelions. Alright, here we go, we're headed back out. We've made it to our objective. Right down, right to the edge of the Negro Creek and Negro Lake southern tip. Yeah, it's a potential source of water. Yeah, it's a potential source of food. If you can get a fishing line out there. Might even be a suitable bug out location. It's quite sheltered. Now we're headed back out on the trail we came in. As you can see, this ain't your everyday standard mountain bike trail. Yeah, okay. Try not to crash, Chuck. Oh, something's rubbing against the tire all of a sudden. And you know he's tired as he's making the mad dash back on out. Tired or bored maybe, I don't know. But it's all good. It's not a steep uphill at this point, but there's enough debris on the trail to make it challenging. Oh yeah, he's figuring out the machete can be difficult to carry. Oh, back at the carry obstacle. I'll catch up to you. Okay, we're over it. Okay, so he's a little bit ahead of me on the trail. He's kind of in a rush to get his day over with. It's okay, you know, it's youth and inexperience. But when you have situational awareness, you find all kinds of things in places where people wouldn't otherwise. We'll see if he comes back when he realizes I'm not right on his tail. And he can come have a look at what amounts to an old farm dump. Yeah. You had a small shovel with things you could find that may be worth some money. Oh, it's cracked. Rundle's liniment. Rundle's liniment. I might keep that one. Oh, and there's a brown one. I'll just make note of this place and have to come back. All right. I guess I better catch up to him. Funny how that's what got my attention as I was going past on the trail. Oh, he's back. He's wondering where I am. You're back. Yeah. That's okay. I was just finding money. You know how old that is?
How old?
Well, I'll have to lens it, but it says Rundle's liniment.
What's liniment?
It's a rub you would put on for sore muscles. How did I find it?
I don't know. How did you?
What's hanging in the tree over there?
A bucket?
Sort of a bucket. It's like a milk pitcher. And I went, oh, that's odd. And I walked over there, and just below there is the old farm dump. old farm dump. If I had more time and a shovel, I'd probably be rummaging through there looking for antiques that may be worth a little bit of money. Just letting you know. So again, this is not about your papa being critical. I'm trying to help you learn things, and you'll get it over time. You won't get it all at once. But do you realize why a lot of people have unplanned run-ins with wildlife, like mountain lions and bears? And it's because they're out here doing what we do, and they don't have any situation awareness going on. I saw that as I was riding through, because my peripheral vision is trained to pick up anomalies. People who don't work that way sometimes get, captured by mountain lions or accidentally run into mother bear and her cubs because they didn't see them in time. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. I'm just trying to get you to understand. That's how I saw that. My peripheral vision picked that up. I went, wait a minute, there's something over there. And I stopped and looked at it. And it's the same when you're out here and you're trying to avoid unnecessary contact with wildlife or bad people. That makes sense? It's a learned skill. We'll get you there in time. Okay, I'm coming. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. What?
Where'd you come from?
Tortoise in the hare, buddy. Tortoise in the hare. Okay, what do you got to say for yourself now that we're all the way back at my place?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I have sweat in places most people don't want to know about.
Yeah.
Yeah. You met your objective.
What?
Yeah. Got to the grid reference we were supposed to go to.
Yeah.
Saw the southern tip of the Negro lakes.
Yeah.
Now we're going to sit down and drink some water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you go, young man. Another scenario-based training day under our belts. You know what? It was a challenging day. It wasn't too far, but it was like 28 degrees today. And the black flies were full strength and the mosquitoes were coming out. I'm really proud of what you achieved today and what you've probably absorbed for today. And I look forward to, more opportunities in the rest of this season to get out and do bigger and badder things. Hope you had fun today. And for everybody that's watching, you know what? There's some life lessons in here. I'm hoping they sink in. Cheers.
Thumbs up. One thumb up. We made it all the way to Negro Creek Lake, southernmost tip, where we were trying to get to.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. That's significant. Lots of people can't do that. All right, we made it.